Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So cost is something that will be very important to the solutions architect as he or she will be in charge of designing the VPC and hosting applications as well. So I felt this is a very important concept to cover with respect to the exam, and that's the reason why we will be talking about AWS Savings Plan today. And if you like my work and if you wish to support me, then you can do that now by using Instamojo or PayPal, and please log into patreon.com/Pythoholic to become a tier 1 Patreon member. So without wasting any more time, let's begin. So when we think of savings plan, we must have a range of expenses that might possibly be incurred with respect to our application hosting. For a simple person like me, if I'm hosting application, I wouldn't mind or I wouldn't aim at having 1,000 instances running all the time for my applications. But yes, I would need something that would be minimal and sturdy. So I would think of having an architecture with around 3 instances with the auto-scaling group, and those will be my on-demand instances. I am fine paying $15 per month for my usage or the computational power that I need, and I will have a balance between the expense and the budget. But if I was a multinational corporation or well-to-do startup or even a modest software company, my usage of computational resources will be leaps and bounds ahead of what it will be for an individual or a single person hosting its application. And yes, it can range from hundreds to thousands of instances, mostly which will depend on the demand of my customer. But if the demand keeps on increasing, the company will incur huge costs to maintain the service and provide computational power. And the balance with the expense and budget will be down way south. And this is the situation for me, where if AWS provides me with some form of savings money, that would actually help my company's budget and I can save it for other valuable operations. And for that, we need to plan things and we need to think of a long-term solution, and that is what we will be getting when we use AWS Savings Plan. So let's see what it has to offer. So AWS Savings Plan provides you with a flexible pricing model for AWS compute services, which can help you save up to 72% on AWS compute usages. With AWS Savings Plan, Amazon offers lower prices on Amazon EC2 instance usage, regardless of what your instance family is, or size, or what kind of operating system you use, or what tenancy you have set, or which region it belongs to. And this also applies to AWS FARGATE and AWS Lambda in case if you want to migrate from EC2 to FARGATE or Lambda. And AWS Savings Plan actually offer incredible saving percentages, just like the way you have with the reserved instances. If you commit yourself that you're going to use a specific amount of computing power, which will be measured in dollar per hour for a 1 or 3 year period. And 1 or 3 year period doesn't mean between 1 to 3. It doesn't mean that it is going to be either 1 or 2 or 3. It means that it is either 1 year or it is 3 years. Okay, and where can you get this or where can you get this done? So you have to use your AWS Cost Explorer, and there you will get the option for AWS Savings Plan, where you can customize and create your own savings plan, and it doesn't stop there actually. You get much more. So along with that, you will get recommendations on how you can maximize your savings with this feature, and you will also get performance reports and also budgeting alerts. And when it comes to the offerings on the savings plan, AWS offers 2 types of saving plans. So, but both these plans need you to provide your commitment of usage, which will be measured in dollar per hour. So the first one is compute saving plan. So as per AWS compute saving plan actually provides the most flexibility and helps you to reduce your cost by up to 66%. And I would say this is one of the most complete saving plan because it automatically applies to the EC2 instance usage regardless of the instance family. That could be if you're switching from general purpose to compute optimized or any other instance family, or it can be the size like 10 GB or 20 GB. You can switch it from any other size that you want, or availability zone like AP South 1A or US East 1A if you're switching from any of these availability zones, or if it's the OS or the tenancy, like if suppose you are trying to switch from Linux to Windows, or tenancy if you are trying to switch from shared to dedicated, or even if it's a region, like example, like let's suppose you're trying to switch it from, or you're going to migrate from India to London region, the savings plan automatically applies to the changes. Okay, and it applies to the same way to Fargate and Lambda usages as well, considering if you wish to switch to them from EC2. And just like we can configure compute saving plans for EC2, you can as well do that the same way for Fargate and Lambda as well. And the next one is EC2's instance saving plan. So just like compute saving plan, here also we get a lot of saving opportunities, and it provides the lowest prices and offers savings up to 72%. That's a huge saving, isn't it? But the most important thing to understand here is that EC2 instance saving plans apply to EC2 usage on a specific instance family in a specific AWS region, regardless of availability zone or size or OS or tenancy. So I hope you got the difference here. So EC2 instance saving plans help you to save the cost of EC2 instances over a specific instance family. So let's suppose you apply it to C5, then you can save or apply savings plan even if you're migrating from C5.xlarge running Windows to C5.2xlarge running Linux. It is regardless of availability zone or size or OS or the tenancy. Okay, I hope you got the point here. Let's move on. So now let's talk about how it exactly works. So this is very simple, and you have to just go to your AWS Cost Explorer and select your saving plan, and then you need to just review it if there are any recommendations that you have for a saving plan based on if you already have been using a saving plan, or if your usage is higher than expected, then you will get some recommendations. So you just need to review them. Then you can either change any existing plans that you have or choose from these two, that is compute saving plans or EC2 instance saving plan. Then you can choose the payment type, if you're willing to pay all upfront or no upfront, or else you're willing to pay partial upfront. And the term length, that is either from 1 or 3 years. And the next step is to provide commitment usage like $1 or $5 or $10 per hour based on your usage. And that's it. You will get a calculated price data of how much it will cost for you and how much you are going to save. Obviously, you can check the same in the pricing data as well. Just to reiterate on this once again, you have to go to your Cost Explorer on AWS, select one of these saving plans that you have, compute saving plans or EC2 instance saving plans, and choose the plan type, payment type, and term length. Then you have to assign an hourly commitment that you have, like $5 or $1 or $10 per hour that you want to have, that you want to give as a commitment to AWS. And then you get the automatic application of discounts and usages on usage across EC2 and Fargate. So you'll get all the details instantly. Okay. So now let's take a look at some of the benefits of using AWS Saving Plan. So when we think of saving plans, not only with AWS, but also in general banking patterns as well, we think of how flexible the plan is. And the same goes here as well. So when you change your usage across EC2 or Fargate and Lambda, this saving plan will automatically apply to that. You don't have to configure that separately based on your changing need. And today, if suppose I'm using EC2 as my computing unit, later on I move to ECS or Lambda, the same plan will apply to that. And the next plan we have is also very important. The saving plan actually offers up to 72% saving in exchange for a commitment to the consistent amount of usage for a 1 or 3 year term. So let's suppose you tell AWS that yes, I will commit that my hourly usage will be $5, and then you will get the saving plan price for up to that $5, and post that it will apply the same what the instance usually charges. Okay, so the decision making is very important. That is why you need to keep on checking the recommendations. And last but surely not the least is the ease of usage. So it's very easy to use. And there are like 2 simple steps using the AWS Cost Explorer by which you can get this done. So the first step is obviously customize your saving plan and then feed the commitment price and then add to the cart and purchase the plan. So that's very simple. And there are some of the FAQs that I wanted to share with you that I felt might be important for you, and you might ask them in the comment section. So I thought, why not put them across ahead of time? So the first question is, how do saving plans actually work with AWS organization and consolidated billing? So what AWS tells us is that saving plans can be purchased in any account within an AWS organization or consolidated billing family. By default, the benefit provided by saving plans is applicable to usage across all accounts within an AWS organizations or consolidated billing family. Okay, so however, you can also choose to restrict the benefit of saving plans to only the account that purchased them. So this can be used both ways. So either you can choose to restrict it to an account that has purchased it, else it can apply to all the accounts. The second question that we have here is, can I have multiple saving plans active at the same time? The answer is yes, you can. And the third one, do saving plans actually provide capacity reservation for EC2 instances? So for this, I would ask yourself this question. Okay, should a saving plan actually provide capacity reservation? Obviously, it will not provide. You can get that done on the on-demand capacity reservations. Okay, so it will not provide. So the answer for, do saving plans actually provide capacity reservation for EC2 instances is no. And the fourth one that we have here is a very valid question. So why don't we use only reserved instances? Okay, because they also provide similar benefits to us. So the point that AWS makes here is that anyways RIs or reserve instances will come to expire at a point of time. And you can go for a savings plan instead of that, as they offer the same savings as reserved instances, but they also provide additional flexibility. But if you already have a reserved instance, or if you already have reserved instances and you have a saving plan, they can work along with each other and can help you reduce overall cost. Okay, so there is an added benefit of having that. But AWS actually recommends you to go for the savings plan because it provides much more flexibility. So this is the documentation for AWS for savings plan. So here you have an option or the tab here for pricing. So you can click on this, and here you will find all the details for all the plans that they have, like for computational saving plans for Amazon EC2, for Fargate, for AWS Lambda, and EC2 instance saving plan as well. So here, as you can see, it has been mentioned here, like compute saving plans apply to EC2 instance usage regardless of instance family, size, AZ, AWS region, OS, or tenancy. So you can choose the computational saving plan here. So for the term of either 1 or 3 years. And if you want to have any payment option that you want to choose, that you can choose here, like you have no upfront cost, partial upfront cost, or all upfront. If you want to pay everything at once at the start itself, you can pay it using all upfront. If you want to pay half of that, you can pay it using partial upfront. And if you don't want to pay anything and you just want to go with monthly payment options, then you can go for no upfront. Okay, and you can select one of the regions here. So if suppose I select the region that I am in, so Asia Pacific Mumbai, then you can choose between like what is the type of operating system you have, like operating, let's suppose I choose Windows, and the tenancy is either shared or dedicated host or instance. So let's suppose I keep it at shared. Now you will get all the discounts that you have, or like on the savings on the on-demand instance that you are going to get. So you get 15% on T3.nano, and if you go to the end itself, like to the 10th part, so the highest amount of difference that you're going to get is for the larger instances. So you get 32% of savings on demand. So if you see D2.8x large, the saving plans rate is 5.65, where on demand rate is 8.268 on the region that you have, Asia Pacific Mumbai. And if you tell that I am going to use it for 1 year term length, then they are going to give you a saving percentage of 32%. Okay, and again you have the compute saving plans for AWS Fargate. So if you are not aware of what is AWS Fargate, so basically AWS Fargate is a serverless compute engine for containers that work with both AWS Elastic Container Service, that is called as ECS, or Elastic Kubernetes Service, okay, or EKS. Okay, so this is Fargate is basically your computational engine for these two, ECS and EKS. So here as well, if you're trying to use AWS Fargate, you can make the selection of the term size that you have, like 1 year, and you can choose the region, and you will get more discounts based on the on-demand prices that you have, like over 20% over on-demand per GB per hour and or per vCPUs per hour. So this is the type of savings that you're going to get with AWS Fargate. And here as well, like AWS Lambda. So AWS Lambda works on requests and durations, isn't it? And the same goes for compute plans for AWS Lambda. So if I have a term length of 1 year and payment option that I have for all upfront, and the region that I'm going to choose is Asia Pacific Mumbai, then I'm going to get for the duration, I'm going to get per GB per second, I'm going to get 17% over the on-demand rates. For 1 million requests, it's not that much. There is no savings at all. But if you see for free tier, it obviously gives 1 million requests as free. So okay, the same goes for the provision concurrency and the duration of provision concurrency. So both of them you get 17% savings over the on demand. And for EC2 instance saving plan, okay, so here there are a lot of things that you have to choose, like the term length is 1 year. You can have no upfront or partial upfront. I'll go with partial upfront. Here, as I already told you, EC2 instance saving plan applies to EC2 usage on a specific instance family in a specific AWS region, regardless of AZ, size, OS, or tenancy. So you have to choose the instance family that you want. Maybe it may be like M3 or I3 or anything. Okay, so you have to choose from, let's suppose I choose M5 and Ohio East, or no, I'll choose my region itself. So it will be around Asia Pacific. So here I am going to choose Windows. So here it gives me 21% savings over on demand, because the on demand rate is 0.193 and the saving plans actually give me the rate of 0.153. Okay, so even if I switch from M5 large to M5 metal also, I will get the similar kind of savings. Okay, I don't have to worry about that. So these are kind of the saving plans that you get. So you can come here and you can as well see and define the requirements that you have, and you can get the saving prices. And we will go to the AWS console now to check out how it exactly works there. So let's go there and see that. Okay, to sign into the console and to use AWS Cost Explorer, you either need to be a root user or else you need to have an IAM user that has permissions to access your AWS Cost Explorer service. Okay, so here it actually automatically opened it for me because I tried to re-log in, but you can go to the services and type AWS Cost Explorer, and you can get the option here as well, where you can right click on this one and open the same. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you like how you can create your saving plan, but I'm not going to create it because it is going to cost a hell lot of money for me, because we are running on the free tier 1. So we are free people and we are cheap people. So we will do only the demo here. Okay, so here you have all the options where the Cost Explorer reports budgets and anomaly detection. Like this is in the beta stage that you have. We have the recommendations as well, but here is the one that you are going to be focused on. So savings plan. So if you want to create a savings plan, then you have to just click on purchase savings plan. Okay, so once you click on purchase saving plan, you will be getting a form here, so where it actually tells you like what are the different saving plans that we have. So the first one is compute saving plans, applies to EC2 usage, AWS FARGATE or AWS Lambda service usage regardless of region, instance, family, size, tenancy, and operating system. The second one that we have here is EC2 instance saving plan. So let's suppose for an example, I am going to go with compute saving plan. Then the next option that I have is I have to choose what is the term that I want to set, like whether it is going to be 1 year or that is going to be 3 years. Okay, so for now let us go with 1 year plan. So I'm going to tell AWS that I'm going to go for a 1 year term, and I'm going to have a purchase commitment of around $2 per hour, and I will pay partial upfront. Okay, so the partial upfront payment is $8,760. If I'm saying that per hour my commitment of usage of the compute saving plan is going to be $2. Okay, and you can give the start date, but it is an optional thing that you have. Here you will get the purchase plan payment details. So the total upfront cost that you have is $8,760 because it is partial upfront. Then monthly payment that you have to pay is $730. The total cost is around $17,520 for 1 year. Okay, and let's suppose I do it for no upfront, then the cost again changes. Like I have to pay a monthly charge of $1,460, and the total cost actually remains the same. And for all upfront also, you can pay the upfront cost like $17,520, and you don't have to pay anything monthly for a year. Okay, so let's suppose I choose 3 years for the same option, like half. Then the partial upfront cost will be $26,280. Monthly I have to pay $730, and so the total cost will be $52,560. Okay, so now let's suppose you make it $1, then 1 year partial upfront, it is around $365. So for an individual these prices may be very high, but for the organizations, based on the money they actually make on the budgeting capabilities that they have, this may not be that much. Okay, so don't worry about that. These prices are very high because if you have to pay, like if I have to pay $8,760, if you see the earning capabilities of mine on YouTube, you can easily judge that I might be making $1 or $2 per video. So I can't even afford a single on-demand instance. And that's on a serious note. Okay, so let's move on. So the second option that we have here is EC2 instance saving plan. So in this, actually it applies to instance usage within the committed EC2 family and region, regardless of size, tenancy, and operating system. So the term size I am going to choose is 1 year, and you have to choose the region because it is regardless of size, tenancy, and operating system, but not the region. Okay, so you have to choose the region here. So I'll choose my region, Asia Pacific, Mumbai. And here I have to choose the instance family. So we will choose one of the basic instance families like C5, and the purchase commitment that we are going to have is $1 per hour based on our status. And the payment option that we have here is like partial upfront, and that comes around 4,380. I will take that back. That is not even our status. So the next thing that we have to do is nothing. We have to just see how much upfront cost that we are going to get here. So 4,380 is the upfront cost that we are going to pay, and monthly we will be charged for around 365, and total cost is 8,760. So with this, you can actually change between any of the instances that you have in that instance family, regardless of the size, tenancy, or operating system that you have. So you can play around with that, but the biggest advantage is you're using the savings plan and you don't have to worry about the prices at all. So it will cover within your savings plan itself. Okay, so I hope this was clear, and you can just come here in the free tier account, log in with your root or the IAM account that you have, and you can as well see this and try this and experiment this on your own. And you can see this recommendation here. So once you click on recommendations, it will show you if suppose you have any recommendations based on your usage. So bigger companies who are using like so many instances, like hundreds and thousands of instances, they will obviously get some recommendation. But here, if you see, we don't have any recommendation because we don't have any savings plans yet, or they have some options here also given to us, like why we are not seeing any recommendations. So currently there are no saving opportunities identified. So they don't identify, AWS hasn't identified any saving opportunities yet, or your average on-demand spend is below $0.10 per hour during a chosen look-back period. You can still purchase the saving plans by going to the purchase page. Be sure to review your usage and estimate savings ahead of the purchase. So they also tell us the same thing. Before actually purchasing this purchase plan, actually you need to determine how much of expense that you are having with your current usage of EC2. If you don't have that much of cost that you're going to save by using savings plan, I don't think so it makes any sense to go for that. But for bigger organizations or startups or companies that are dealing with large number of user set, they can actually use this saving plan and actually benefit from this. Okay, so I hope you got the point of how we are going to use it and why actually savings plan can help us, or where exactly in which situations savings plan can actually help us. So make sure you make the right decisions for your company, or the organization that you're working for, or the program that you're designing for, or the application that you're going to host, and come back here and see your recommendations and make your right decisions. Okay, so that's it from the demo side. Let's move on. So that's all for today's session. I hope you enjoyed this, and make sure you check out the other parts of VPC if you haven't. The links are all in the description below. So, and if you wish to support me, the links to Instamojo, PayPal, and Patreon are right in the description as well. So until next time, it's Pythoholic signing off.